can practice basic spider guard sweep and round and guard. Basic spider guard sweep from close guard. You want your guard to open on your terms, because if it doesn't open on your terms, it's going to open on their terms. And the whole key for them is posture. The whole key for you is breaking their posture. So typically what happens is that their posture is going to be based off their hands, with the right hand or left hand here. This collar grip here is going to be tough for me to get. A lot of people say, well, you know, feed the collar, but he's not letting me, especially if he begins to kind of grip, fight, and break grips and all that kind of stuff. It's not good. However, sleeves are accessible here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get double sleeve grip right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull him in, and then I can push, okay? So as I pull him in here, okay, I'll put my foot on the mat, and then I'm going to push both hands so I can move my hips out, okay? As my left foot goes on his hip, my right foot goes on his other hip, as you see with one arm in, okay? If I turn to the left side, my right foot goes into spider guard, and I'm going to pull the elbow back. So I'm up as my left leg blocks here, and I'm going to never have my leg straight and locked out. It's horrible. So I want this slightly bent so I can have spring, and I want my toes curling on the inside of his bicep. This grip, the sleeve grip right here, I'm not using thumbs. And what I do is I pull in and I push, so it locks him in, so that as my leg moves, he moves. So what I'm going to do is I'm on my elbow, I'm looking to the left, my left leg is blocking off the mat, and I'm going to lift him up and over my left shoulder. Up, bring my left shoulder so my hips stay connected, and hopefully he won't be able to get his knee in as I keep that arm and I keep stretching it out. Maybe I'll get a key lock, maybe I'll get my hand under, whatever the case may be, I should reasonably have the sweep. And I want to keep my hips close, because the big problem I always had with spider guard when I learned this at blue belt is I would take him to the left, and they would bring the knees in, and I would come up, and it would be an open guard, or like a, what do you call it, a single leg X, or something that I had to constantly keep passing. So you're going to take him over your left shoulder, so your hips are going to be close. And you'll see, watch where my left leg goes. So here I can't get it. Double sleeve grip here, even if he's on the hip here. Screw, left foot on the hip, right knee comes in, and I reset my hips here. I'm pulling him here, and my shin kind of is on his left shoulder so that I can lift my hip, because I'm not trying to push him away like this, which does me nothing. And I don't want him to get too close, so my legs are jammed up. It's like doing a leg press where if your legs are too bent, you have no power. If they're too extended, you don't have power. So I got to be kind of right about here. And I want my shin to be kind of connected to his shoulder. Otherwise, it'll be too easy for him to bring that left arm over my knee. And I want to be able to use that to be able to set this up here, okay? So as you notice, what I'm going to do is I need to crawl a little bit to my left, put my leg here. And what I'm going to do is I lift him up and over my left shoulder. He literally goes on the inside of my knee, right there. And I want to keep stretching this out. I want to stretch this out because if I don't, he's going to pull it in real quick. And I really don't want him to have double unders, because he can have that. Or he can just push my knee with either elbow, slide that knee over, and he's immediately got an underhook, and I'm already late. So that's what makes mount very tricky. If you don't control the arms and you don't get an underhook, you're going to have a potential problem, because if the person on the bottom does what we teach here, they should have half guard, underhook, and immediately already advancing. So we're here, and I always like to kind of twist, so this tightens here, okay? The other thing is this, I'm not using my thumbs to squeeze. Squeezing cloth does nothing. If I want to hold his wrist, and sure, I've got to squeeze kind of here, okay? But when you grip here, you're pulling. This is just a method of hooking and pulling. It does me no good to squeeze his collar. There's no blood flow going through it. So to go here, I don't want to squeeze. I want to here, and I want to twist, just so his hand is not so free. So as he slowly tries to kind of wrap my wrist, I can go here, and I can kind of control. Because if we're here, he can roll the wrist. Yeah, right here, right? And I have to let go and regrip. Okay. So the spider guard grip, you can do this with your partner. Make it easier for you. Just a hook here, and like a twist right here. Hook and twist right here. I'm gonna put on the mat, and I'm gonna push both hands so that my hips are able to move away. My left foot's on his hip, my right knee comes in right here. Okay? And now from here, I'm gonna lift, shift onto my left hip. I'm gonna open up right here. Sometimes you need to use your hand to adjust, because if I'm pulling and I try to, you know, put my foot there, I gotta kind of push, foot, and then lift it up. As I pull him into my foot, you can adjust it also. You can pull him in and then extend. So now I need to pull a little bit to my left here, and now as I lift, I'm gonna take him up over my left shoulder, and you need to look up and over your left shoulder. Let me take him right there. Okay. The key is to place him over your inner thigh so that you can come up right away. So here, so here. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6, 7, 8. And I want to stretch this because I want to stretch my hips so my knees are behind my hips. I don't really want to come up like this, because if I do, there's no weight on him, and if I come up like this, you need to immediately go for a high guard. You got to be careful, and you have to control his arms. So you want to come up with this, pushing out, and your legs hook. So from here, you control the head, you control the arm, and you have to control the mouth. The thing you got to also keep in mind is that I have an underhook with my right arm, but he has an underhook with his right arm. So you have to make sure that you're careful with him and his right arm pushing my left knee into a half guard, which is why you have to have the legs hooking. Because if I'm here and he straightens his, yeah, see, now immediately he's already going to half guard. Remember, whenever you have an underhook, one of them, they have an underhook. So always remember that, because you can use that to paint the other person, okay? Ready, 1, 2, 3.